Dear Tim Cook, I hate your stinking guts. You make me vomit. You are the scum between my toes. Love, Jonathan. Nah, but for real, we desperately now, more than ever, need a more affordable display option from Apple. So, welcome to episode 1 of Dear Tim Cook, Please Fix This. Like, please. Today's video is sponsored by Visible. Yo, Jonathan here, got a new setup. If you missed that video, I'll drop a link somewhere up here and down below. But today, we're talking about the state of displays from Apple, or rather lack thereof, because there's really only one option. There's a lot of stuff that Apple could absolutely be doing better. AirPods Max case. But as far as display quality and the panels they include with their machine, they're kind of at the top of the game. Before anyone freaks out and screams, how on earth is that possible? I encourage you, I implore you, I beg you, watch the video through and let's talk about it. So once Apple dropped those M1 machines, the MacBook Air, the MacBook Pro, the Mac Mini, and because they performed so well for the money, the conversation and the want for a display that didn't cost 8 trillion Dogecoins became more relevant than ever. Here's a Reddit post that, mind you, is now a couple years old that's titled, "You don't realize how good an IMAX display is until you start looking for a second display." So like that post, this isn't new or something that Apple introed just last year or even 2 or 3 years ago. The 27-inch 5K iMac has been a thing for quite some time. Even looking at last year's cheapest 27-inch iMac, it's 5K, 500 nits P3, like try and find a monitor with those specs. The unfortunate part is most consumer displays and monitors in, let's say, that $400 to $1,000 price point can be a little misleading. There's HDR this, HDR10 that, and the reality is most of those max out at 4K resolution and usually for the most part 350 nits brightness, maybe at the most 400. Then that M1 iMac busts through the wall, Kool-Aid Man style, chin and all, with a 4.5K panel P3 with a brightness of 500 nits. You literally cannot price or piece together an equal or greater monitor with, say, an M1 Mac Mini for less than what the iMac sells for, and I challenge you. There's a comment that I'm seeing a lot lately where it's, oh, well, it's only 60 hertz, it must be trash, all while completely ignoring panel quality, brightness, and color accuracy, and ultimately it comes down to use case. Like if you need a 644 hertz monitor, you're probably going to be gaming on that and pairing it with a PC. And the reality is most people who want to pair a monitor with their Mac aren't doing that. So in this case, the color accuracy, the panel, and the brightness is more important. The only things even remotely close on the market right now are probably LG's ultrafine displays. There's a 4K 24-inch option that floats anywhere from $600 to $700. You do get Thunderbolt ports, which is nice, and then they have a bigger brother, a 5K 27-inch display, which sits currently about $1,300. They're both P3, 500 nits brightness, and while aesthetically they don't look the nicest in the world, and there have definitely been some quality control issues, when you get a great one, they are really excellent displays. I will say the included Thunderbolt integration and the hub functionality is also really nice with these LG displays, but that's about it if you want an iMac caliber display to pair with your Mac. That is, of course, unless you want to jump up to the $6,000 Pro Display XDR. Now, coming from someone who's used one, I will definitely admit Apple maybe came a little too strong out of the gate with their marketing and presentation with this display, but again, also similar to the iMac in terms of what you're getting for the price, the panel, the resolution, the brightness. There's nothing else that you can find for equal or less with those specs. And again, I challenge you. With that said though, unless you're working in HDR video, the price for the display I don't think is truly justified, because the reality is $6,000 is just way too much money for people to be spending on a display to pair with their M1 MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, or Mac Mini. For real, with $6,000, that'll grab you like 20 years of phone service with Visible. I've talked about Visible before. They make phone service dumb simple. They're powered by Verizon, and you can grab an unlimited plan with 5G included for as low as $25 a month. They already make it awesome not having to deal with a store or a line or people, but to take that one step even further, if you have an eSIM capable device, you don't have to wait for anything. You don't even have to open up your phone or look for one of these, because unless you happen to be some kind of nerd who carries a SIM card tool on your keychain like I may or may not do, most of the time you can't find one of those. If that wasn't enough though, if you refer a friend, a family member, or even a stranger to sign up for Visible, like this guy could sign up and your next month's bill would be $5. Like what could you buy for $5 anymore? You can do that up to 12 times, which is kind of bananas. And if you got friends in Canada, Mexico, US Virgin Islands, or Puerto Rico, you can call them too, and links to all of that, again, is down below. Now, looking back at older Apple displays, because they've definitely had a handful, I would say the best complete package was the Thunderbolt display, and I would love to see a modern iteration on that. It was a great size, great panel. It still looks great to this day. It is aged beautifully, but what made it special is how it integrated with Mac, in particular, a MacBook or Mac Mini. This thing, I kid you not, had a MagSafe charger built directly into the display so you could charge your MacBook, but then also a parallel Thunderbolt cable, which gave you access to multiple USB ports, Ethernet, and at the time, FireWire. Rest in peace. The beautiful part here is, let's say you weren't using a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse and you had a USB receiver or a USB hard drive or a FireWire drive, you had your Ethernet hardwired, you could leave that all plugged into the display, unplug your MacBook, and then take that on the go. So I have a wireless Logitech keyboard, wireless mouse that's going to one USB receiver on the back of the Thunderbolt display, not the MacBook Air. Then I have a G drive, external FireWire 800 drive, which I don't even have an 800 port on my MacBook Air. So that's going into the Thunderbolt display, and I can actually see it, as you guys can see right here, off the MacBook Air, so I can transfer a copy. I can just use it like it's plugged into my MacBook Air. This is all going through the Thunderbolt display. Just for an example, as a setup, I have my iPhone hooked up to another USB. There's also a USB thumb drive, and on top of that, there's an extra Thunderbolt cable as well as an Ethernet port. So for example, maybe you have a home setup and you don't want a wireless connection, you prefer wired. You can have everything set up here, including your hard drive, your mouse, your keyboard, your phone. You unplug the Thunderbolt cable, the power source, so it's charging it the whole time. Take it, go off on your day, do your thing, come back, plug in 2 cables, and all this is as you left it. So that is awesome. Even looking at the Pro Display XDR today, yes, there are additional USB ports on the back, but the catch is, if you're using the display at full 6K resolution, those USB ports effectively become USB 2.0, and nah, I'm good. Jumping back to those LG Ultrafine displays, I would say the 24-inch model is probably the best value, the best bang for your buck, because yes, the 27-inch is bigger, you get 1 extra K of resolution, but with the 24-inch model, you have 2 Thunderbolt ports. So what's nice with that, especially with these M1 MacBook Airs and MacBook Pros, which only have 2 ports right now, that gives you not only something to connect your laptop to the display and use those USB ports on the back, you now have an extra Thunderbolt port back, which is so useful. Looks aside, I have truly loved and enjoyed both those displays. There's been a period where I used the 24-inch one for 6 months. There's been a period where the 27-inch 5K Ultrafine was my main monitor. But I think at this point, with the release of M1, with Apple dropping all these new things, we need a new display more than ever. My dream situation would be for Apple to mirror the iMac displays. I don't need 1600 nits for most of the stuff I do. I don't even need 6K, but what I would love to see is a 24-inch option if that was sub $1,000, P3, 4.5K, 500 nits, and if we do get that bigger rumored iMac at 31 inches, if we could match that 6K, 500 nits, that would be amazing. Honestly, if they could deliver that, I swear to John Mayer, I don't even care if there's a chin. If they could somehow include some of the iMac tech, like that Ethernet running through the power cable or brick, that would be nice. Throw in a Thunderbolt port or 2, give me some USB 3 ports. I'll be dreaming and wishing for an SD card slot, but at the end of it, just bring back some of that Thunderbolt display hub functionality and we will all be happy. That aside, those new M1 iMacs with that beautiful 24-inch 4.5K P3 500 nit display are dropping next week, so definitely feel free to subscribe so you don't miss that and see all that in its beautiful glory. And if you want a new display from Apple as much as I do, make sure you guys go buff Tim Cook on that like button. Again, big thanks to Visible for sponsoring today's video, and dear Tim Cook, please fix this.